the rope, the entrance on the rope. I had no idea of that until the day I was doing it, and someone comes to the locker room and goes, "Man, your rope's awesome." And I thought he was ribbing me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "This is your rope." I'm like, "I haven't got a rope." It's like, and I walk out to the arena, and there's this 75-foot rope hanging from the ceiling, and I'm like, "Oh, I really do have a rope. Cool." And went and did it. Burned my hands the first time going. That's where I realized that you had to wear gloves as you fast rope down. But yeah, that was kind of how things were kind of going. It was fun, good time, enjoyed it.
What was the experience like with the rope, though? Were you scared after they told you,
Yeah,
"Hey,
no,
this is
no,
another rope, you got to do it"?
so you had to go. You had to go into the back, and there was a part in the back where Ray would go. Was kind of his to go to do his jump up through the stage there. So that's where I kind of go through, and there was literally like a janky ladder up behind the thing. I mean, I was like, "Oh, this is so OSHA safe." I'm sure. Obviously, I wasn't aware of that at the time, but I was like, "I'm not sure we've passed all the inspections here." But I would go stand up, and I used to joke and go, "Oh, you're killing my pop," because I had to stand up there for about a minute so the crowd would see me, and then it would pan to me, and I'd do the entrance there. But you just had to. Each arena was completely different, so it depended on the length of the height of the roof, the ceiling. So because they would drop it from the ceiling, whatever arena it was. So depending on the height of that ceiling as to like how long that rope was, so you didn't know until you swung out how you were going to time it to land on the walkway as opposed to in the middle of the crowd. And some of them were longer, like you had to kind of push off and swing out and over. So that was always a thing. And I just kind of, just for fun, used to just wing it live as opposed to practicing it. I just used to be like, we'll just see how this goes. And I would just fast rope down and drop down to the floor. So yeah, it always went well. My favorite was coming off a double-decker bus at Wembley. That was cool. Completely unsafe when I think about it now. I'm like, well, gosh, I could have really actually not have survived that. That was that was quite a different experience. So, but it was fun times. We enjoyed it.
So it's almost like it looks awesome. It could be cool, but it's not necessarily the safest thing in the world.
Disaster strikes, yeah, basically. But I enjoyed it. It was different and everything, and yeah, it was kind of cool because that was always the joke. Oh, you should swing in from the ring. I couldn't quite work out how they would do that, how that was going to be possible. Because you think of like swinging into the ring, you know. I always thought like a we call them death slides, but like one of the things you slide along would have been cool, and kind of like Suicide used to do, you know, in TNA. Yeah, until I realized their idea was much better and much safer, and less chance of going wrong. So I was fine with the rope.